Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back in with this week's episode and all the physical releases coming to the Switch, the 16th until the 20th. Let's see what we've got. Balatro is releasing in Europe this week. Looks like North America will have to wait slightly longer, maybe next month. Not sure what the delay is there, but yeah, this is a very hotly anticipated release, although perhaps somewhat bittersweet, considering this physical is coming just as they announced like a megaton of free DLC with tie-ins to other indie games, which I'm pretty sure won't be on the cartridge. I think they're just like skins, but I don't know, I've never played the game because, it has cards in it. This was an indie darling when it released digitally earlier this year, and now it's finally getting a physical release that comes with actual physical cards as well, which is nice. You get 10 inside the case. And our executive producers, Ishin and Dane Wilkinson, have chosen this as their pick of the week. As I said, unlike Europe, North America has to wait until October, but if you want to pre-order that version or any retail game in this week's episode, consider using the links below in the description and the pinned comment. That massively helps support me and this series. VGP are a really nice company with favorable prices in Canadian buckages, plus they have free worldwide shipping on orders over 80 Canadian bucks, which is about 60 American dollars, not that much. Plus, if you do buy something via my link, then each week you'll be put into a draw to have a chance of winning a $10 discount coupon. And this week's winner is Irvin G. Who knew someone called Irvin would be such a gangster? But hey, you use my links to purchase something, so you're a legend to me. You should get an email from VGP if you haven't already with your discount coupon, and I thank you greatly for your support. What else have we got this week? The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is releasing in Europe this week. Again, North America has a bit of a delay on this one. What's happened? Was there like a drunk captain in the Panama Canal or something? I heard this is one of the best walking sims ever created. So much so, it's a genre pigeonhole that annoys its fans. It's a very meta game about walking around in your office where everyone has seemingly disappeared. And this Ultra Deluxe Edition is kind of like a remake, looking better, having more content and all around more polished. So if you're looking for something a bit weird and humorous, you'll definitely want to take a look at this. And our executive producers, Robotech, Fawn Metal Luna, and Lewis K have chosen this as their pick of the week. Pretty Girls Game Collection 4 is releasing in Europe this week, but this one is a bit more clear as to why it's not turning up in America. There's not a boat captain on the 7 seas that would be brave enough to take this to the US of A. You know how big those guys are on ethics and morals, yeah? They're stand-up fellas. This is another simple collection of Pretty Girls Breakers Plus, Pretty Girls Tile Match, Pretty Girls 2048 Strike, and Pretty Girls Escape, which looks to be the most varied collection yet of cheap arcadey type games. Something you'd find your aunt playing on Facebook 15 years ago, only these games have massive tits, and you can see them. This physical version has exclusive nude content of the ladies to incentivize players. Like all the other games from Funbox, this physical comes with a stylus. As I said, it's only releasing in Europe, but VGP, of course, are importing copies of it for horny North Americans. And they still have stock of almost all the other nude releases from Funbox if you want to fill up your collection as much as you fill up that handy sock that you hide from your mum. And our executive producers, Josh Foote, God of Resin, and Instacritic have chosen this as their pick of the week. So yeah, the game is of equal relevance as the Stanley Parable. It must be a masterpiece. Matchbox Driving Adventures is probably gonna win awards. I can feel it. I can already see the Mediocre Racing Game of the Year trophy on their shelves. It's from Outright Games, so it won't be terrible, but apparently there's only 10 cars. But at least it's not just racing. There are missions in here too, so that's why it's called Adventures. It's definitely not gonna be Diddy Kong Racing though, more like Diddy Car Racing, because Matchbox, I don't know. I'm on pain medication for an abscess, okay? I can't think of anything funny to say. The Karate Kid Street Rumble is releasing in North America and Europe this week. It's published by Game Mill, who did the other Karate Kid game on the Switch, but they've ditched the bad 3D and have now decided to copy River City Girls' homework. I mean, if you're gonna be inspired, at least be inspired by some badass girls. Girls who would let you copy their homework if you saved them twos behind the school gym at lunchtime. Who knows what it's going to turn out like? I feel like we should be taking bets on this one because it looks like it could be a good fit-in with the recent like Ninja Turtles beat 'em up, the upcoming Power Rangers one, but it's got Game Mill on the box who will no doubt try to figure out how to ruin it in the best way possible. But our executive producer, Punky Dooster, he's got his fingers crossed because it's his pick of the week. Alright, the low print releases. Snufkin, Melody of Moominvalley, is getting a distribution release from Limited Run Games in North America. Pre-orders are opening this week. This has been released in Japan already for like a year, maybe more, and it's getting a retail release in Europe in the near future. But North America has this option. This is a game for anarchists who think that they're super adorable. You play a Snufkin who harbors resentment for authority and is gonna smash some shit up to make Moominvalley beautiful again, and find his bro, the Moomin whose name I can't remember anymore. It's a game for all ages, teaching kids to disrespect the police early on. Easy enough adventure puzzle game, kinda cute, I liked it. Art style, music. Speaking of which, it does have music from Sigaros, who I listened to for about 5 minutes back in the day when I found out that the lead singer of Feeder really enjoyed their music. But yeah, after like the first track, I went back to being a basic Green Day bitch. And our executive producer, Feig, has chosen this as their pick of the week. The Coma Collection. Somebody call Most Haunted because damn, I've just seen a ghost, and I didn't need Derek Akora to tell me about it. I assumed Game Fairy was 6 feet under, or at least in a retirement home after a less than successful attempt at breaking into an already packed market. This is their first physical game in absolutely years, and it's a game that's already been out physically in Japan and Asia for also absolutely years. Coma 1 and 2 double pack. I've talked about these games like endlessly already, so maybe it's more like a stale zombie of a release rather than a ghost. I don't think it's clear if the standard edition will be coming to retail in Europe as of yet, but they currently have pre-orders open for a deluxe edition, which is limited to 2,000 copies. Yeah, and good luck trying to sell this. The second game's pretty good, but the first game has too many problems for me. Alright, let's move on to the imports. Yes, if you want to pre-order any of these games, please use our Play Asia links, because that's also a fantastic way to support us, and you can import these Japanese and Asian games from them and also get free worldwide shipping over $100 US. And I can support you too, because if you click the link and buy something, you can also get 5% off with my discount code Jordan24. Tetsudou, Nippon, Rosen, Tabi, EX, Tozan, Densha, Odakyu, I almost got through that. I almost got through it on the first attempt. I'm not going through it again. Choo choo! The hype train is leaving the station, guys. The second import exclusive train game that has English will be arriving this week. Woohoo! Okay, maybe I'm going a bit overboard, but for train enthusiasts or those who want the most chilled and yet stressful gaming experience, then this will be for you. Like you, try driving a train at the designated speed limit and arriving at the next station exactly on time. You know what the Japanese are like with their efficient trains. Like if you're like 3 seconds late, you actually get tied to the tracks. And our executive producer, Brent McLean, has chosen this as his pick of the week. I know he's got his controller, his special controller ready. I hope you wear like special white gloves when you're playing it. The Town of Nie is another BL visual novel, Boy Love, a VN that has English, currently only the second one to do that, but there is another one coming later this year. Anyways, this is supposed to be a pretty good one from reviews on VNDB, although one would assume that they've taken out the naughty bits for the Switch release. Who knows? It's something quite unique. Ikki Unite is releasing in Japan this week. This is a bit like Vampire Survivors, but it's multiplayer. 16 players can decimate the hordes together. It actually looks pretty okay, although apparently it's based off an old Famicom game that was one of the leading games to originate the term kusoge, which means crap game, of which there tends to be a cult following behind, like ironically playing them for fun. This is going to be releasing in a standard and collector's edition, which includes a plush, a scroll, folding fan, a soundtrack CD, and a Famicom style box, and it will have English, which, yeah, it sounds actually pretty nice. And our executive producer, Cartoon Soren, has chosen this as his pick of the week. GINKA is releasing in Japan this week with English. It is another visual novel, a highly rated VN from Frontwing about solving the disappearance of your childhood friend who was spirited away 5 years ago on an island. This is also coming in a standard edition, as well as a limited collector's edition which includes a tapestry, visual book, acrylic key holder, and a soundtrack CD. And our executive producer, my man in Japan, he's chosen this as his pick of the week. Japan is also getting Bang on Balls Chronicles, another import exclusive that's been out in Asia already for a few months, but this is a Japanese release that has English. And also Born of Bread, we have that in the West already as well, and Japan is also getting 2 more games that we don't have yet, but we will be getting Death End Request Code Z at some point in the future. Alright, let's jump into the community spotlight. Last week I missed it, but this week I'm going all in, guys. Are you ready? The Enemy Parasite sent in this photo, picking up a wealth of games including Bakeru, which I think that's what it's called, Bakaru, I can't remember. On the top right, recently released digitally in the West with English, although there's no English physical as of yet, but we know it's going to be limited run, it's inevitable, and I heard it's a really great game. Martin sent in this photo with a couple of VNs. Both look really nice, but obviously outshined by the legendary hamster game. Executive producer Cartoon Soren sent in this photo with Jump King, which for a time was a rare import exclusive, but it looks like it was either reprinted or someone found some stock down the back of a sofa. One for fans of patience. It's a game that takes patience. McLaren sent in this photo with the collector's edition of Which Spring Are from Japan. The West is getting a similar but slightly smaller collector's edition when it releases in like October or something like that. Nice JRPG. Reg sent in this photo with a nice purchase of Chocobo GP. Like, what is the status of this game right now? I know Square kind of abandoned it, and it does have like a free-to-play version or something like that, but like if I have a cartridge, I do have a cartridge, it's currently sealed, but if I pop it in my Switch right now, like literally the second, please tell me what will happen. Can I still play it? I don't know. Kevin W sent in this photo picking up a couple of visual novel games, including Some Convenience Store, which will delight many a fan of anime girls. Shell sent in this photo picking up a shiny looking cover sleeve for Ugly. I don't know what the situation is with that one, I don't remember seeing that version for sale, but I like the fact that it's a mirror so you can look at one's ugly self. Bomb sent in this photo with 2 bombastic games. Astral Chain, a pretty underrated Switch exclusive. It was obviously quite hyped at release, but like, what's it been, 5 years later? Not that many people talk about it anymore. Robin H sent in this photo picking up Blue Reflection Second Light. I'm still waiting for the first game on the Switch, guys, come on. Benjamin A sent in this photo picking up Felix the Cat. If you missed out on that, Video Games Plus will probably be getting stock of this in October, at least that's what I heard. Alan and Jenny, I think that's how to say your name, let me know if I said it wrong, sent in this cultured selection of releases. I suspect they'll be adding the latest Pretty Girls Game collection when it releases this week. Rebecca R sent in this fine selection of releases, picking up Cross Tales. Man, if they'd have just had a better translation for the English on this game, I would probably consider it an essential import, but you know, the stiff, dodgy translation does knock it down a step. Executive producer Feig sent in this photo picking up a ton of visual novels. Actually, a lot of variety in there too, like in subgenres. That B Project one, I don't even know what to categorize that. Illogicool sent in this photo with Needy Girl Overdose, which is a much more ballsy name than the upcoming North American physical release, Needy Streamer Overload, that's releasing later this year. Executive producer Offone sent in this photo picking up the Doink Soft collection. Gotta appreciate the trials and tribulations that the games on this cartridge have been through. Worthy of a documentary alone, I would say, at least a YouTube documentary. Bunny Bear sent in this photo picking up a couple of cheaper recent import exclusives, Bow, Rusted Moss, Lost Epic. The Japanese yen, tanking has really made it almost like cheating when buying new games from Japan. They're like $22 or something crazy. Dewang S sent in this photo with Hyper Light Drifter. I kind of feel like I've missed this one. I mean, I remember pre-orders opening for it, but for the life of me, I cannot remember how long ago that was, and I genuinely do not recall seeing this in the community spotlight before. Are they just being sent out, or have I not been paying enough attention? That's entirely possible. DSM sent in this photo. They got a nice early copy of Balatro. with the odd PEGI 18 rating because it has gambling in it, even though it doesn't have any gambling in it. It's just PEGI, they just don't care. Darky sent in this photo with so many games, it's genuinely hard to know where to focus my attention. But it's really nice for me to see Xuanyuan Sword physical there at the top. I really hope that it does well because I would really like the rest of the series to be brought to modern consoles and in English as well. Executive producer Ishin sent in this photo with a couple of Japanese collector's editions of games that do have Western physicals. I personally think Japan seem to get the balance right. They're never overly ridiculous, often just have the essentials, and they look great too. Executive producer Thorn Metal Luna sent in this photo. They picked up the European twin pack of Final Fantasy 7 and 8, which VGP at the time of writing this on Saturday have it for just $22, which is a great purchase in my opinion. Andrew R sent in this photo. Again, pleasing me with Xuanyuan Sword Collector's Edition. Love that classic artwork. There's something really honest and authentic about it that modern gaming artwork just seems to miss. Kevin V sent in this photo of a bunch of nice games, including the Spirit Hunter trilogy. Hey, you know, October is coming soon. If you want a VN or 3 to read in the evening, these are perfect. Rick Menso sent in this photo picking up a double helping of Ace Attorney, including the recent Investigations collection, which I wish I had the time to play. I also want to correct a mistake I made during the episode that I talked about it in. Apparently it did actually release in Europe back in the day. I must have crossed my wires with some other release, I don't know. Vast Neon sent in this photo picking up the Steelbook edition of Vengeance. I wonder if the price for this one will tank just like the original did after a year or so. They were basically giving them away at one point. Executive producer Vei, my man in Japan, sent in this wealth of games, many import exclusives that I'm very jealous about. I don't know why, but imports just interest me far more than like most random Western releases. They're more mysterious. Adamantium sent in this photo comparing the Steelbook editions of the original and Vengeance releases of SMT5. At least they managed to do what many other companies fail at doing and they've made them easily distinguishable from one another. No mistakes are going to be made with this one. Cresselac sent in this photo with plenty of culture in it, especially with imports like Maid of the Dead, Taboo Trial, and Bunny Garden. Must have been like Christmas Day opening these packages up. Executive producer Louis K sent in this photo picking up Dordogne from Pix and Love. They actually sent me a copy, but as per usual, UPS in China are pissing about, pretending they don't know what video games are. No understanding about prepaid customs tax, the pricks. Maybe I'll be able to show it next week. Needless Dragon sent in this photo with the Big Daddy Doom Eternal. I don't know why, but I just got the feeling that this release wasn't as impactful as it would have been if it was done a bit earlier. Feels like they missed the boat with excitement on this one. Executive producer Instacritic sent in this photo, picking up a couple of imports like the Reincarnated as a Slime game. I have to admit, the Southeast Asian cover version feels like it was slapped together when their designer took their laptop with them for their 3 PM turd. Like, they didn't spend too long on that. Choco Loco James sent in this photo with some nice fan art alongside Metroid Prime Remastered. Like, where are the other games? You can't just tease us with one of them, that's like unfinished business. Faison M sent in this nice collage of gaming towers. Actually reminds me of my old setup when I used to show my face and people begged me to put my games in order properly, and I kind of did, and then I stopped showing my face. It was a curse. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolutely everyone. No roundup needed. If you want to send your picture to me, send it on Twitter. If you can, DM me at SoWhatAboutGame. Don't tag me in a post because I genuinely will not see it. Also, we have an email address, switchwatchspotlight@gmail.com, and of course the Discord, the server link should be below if I remember to copy and paste it there. Special thanks as always to our executive producers, Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brett McLean, Alexander Cato, JCross7776, Punky Dusa, Cartoon Soren, Robotech, Raven Knight, Thorn Metal Luna, Issa, Vey, Offphone, Inscritic, Precision Plague, Alex M, Feig, Josh Foot, Ishin, Viz, and Louis K. Thank you so much for your support, plus you watching right now. If you watched all the way through, please leave me a Joker card emoji in the comments. I've checked, there is one. I pre-checked this time. There is a Joker card amongst the emojis available, and that will teach me who the legends are amongst you. You watched all the way through, so you're the kind of person who's helped this series become what it is. Thank you so much. Go check out Physical Paradise, okay? You're missing a lot of stuff over there if you're not subscribed, okay? There's so many physical related videos, like almost daily now, almost daily. So yeah, go check it out. I'll see you over there. Take care. Have a good day.